All right, let's see. I'm having so much trouble. Okay, so there we go. I'm having a lot of trouble tonight, and I don't know if it's because my computer was acting up earlier and I had to clear my cookies and stuff, and now nothing wants to connect. My Facebook even looks like it's not working right, but I got my computer. I'm good. I think I'm good. Um, if you get on, please let me know that you're on. Let me know that you hear me. Oh, Debbie Green shared, so she must be able to hear me and see me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Today started the 10% off of your stamp and die bundles and the Stamp and Cut and Emboss machines, the big one and the little one. So the stamps and dies are already marked at 10% off. You get an additional 10% off of that. So in my head, I'm going to say 20% off, but I don't think that that's how the math works because you're already getting 10%. So now you're only getting 10% off of that. So it's not 10% off the full price. I always get that way too when I go shopping, and Reed always has to burst my bubble. If something's on clearance and it says, oh, take an additional 75% off. And I'm thinking, yeah, this is awesome. But she's like, no, Mom, it's only off from the price that it's already. So anyway, I'm thinking it should be free. And she's reminding me that I'm living in a dream world. So those are the two specials we got going on today. Marked two new kits. Oh my gosh, have you guys seen them? The one expressions of kindness. I can't remember what it was called. I put it in my newsletter and I added it to my card as soon as I saw it. I love it, love it, love it. And then there's a introduction to scrapbook kind of thing. It's a travel journal. It looks great for somebody who just is maybe getting their feet wet with scrapbooking, which would be me. I need things more like that where I can just scrap a long weekend, or just like one event. I guess that's what you do, and then you can put them all together into like a book of the year or something. But anyway, you probably can't see, this has got glare on it. I can see let me move it over here. Can you see it? This is a sampler that we made over the weekend. I got a glare on it still. This is using all the sweets in the new catalog. We went to sweet demo days and we played around with all the sweets. And this is all of them being used on our sampler. And I wanted to put it up here on my shelf, you know, but it's not, the second shelf isn't up high enough. So I'm just going to move it down, take it down. I just wanted you to see it, and maybe I'll find out a way to display it. I don't know how, because I didn't leave that much space between the two shelves. Maybe when this one falls down again, I'll have room to, I'll move it up higher next time. Okay, let me move my camera down. Hey, Christy, Mom, Kathy. So let's do this. Okay. All right. So I'm going to show you guys. This is the card from the swap. One of the cards from the swap that we did over the weekend. This is my friend Lori's card. She made some of these for a couple different events that she needed thank you cards for, and she made it for our swap as well. So I thought today I was trying to figure out, what am I going to do when we were out running errands? And lo and behold, at the Menards Garden Center, I turned and there was all the seeds staring at me. So I said, oh, I can make Lori's card. So I picked me up a pack of seeds and got to designing when I got home. So that was Lori's card. I'm going to start with this card. This is one of my cards that we're going to do. We're actually going to do two tonight. Let me put the seeds in. We're going to do two cards, but because it's no fun to watch you do all that stuff there, I prepped most of it ahead of time. And so then I figured I would bring in my second card that I created as well. And so here's the inside of mine. And I looked for lavender because I knew I had the lovely lavender set, or yeah, I think that's what it's called. But lavender must be a weed or something that you don't actually plant seeds for. I'm not sure because I could not find any lavender, but I did find the daisies, and so that's why I went with this. So let me show you guys how we're gonna make this one, and then I'll show you my quick other card that we're gonna make. So this is Lemon Lolly. Like I said, I got most of it done ahead of time. So I've got a 4¼ by 11 piece of Lemon Lolly, scored at 5½ or fold it in the middle and burnish on the fold real well. And then we have another piece of Lemon Lolly that is 4¼ by, or 4 by 5¼ You could have cut this down a little bit more even to 2 layers, but since they're not really showcasing another color behind, it didn't really matter. So I went with Lemon Lolly, and I found this design for this part of the card from Martin's Mayhem. He had created this, and I pretty much, I'm not shaking it up too much other than, you know, adding my own inside that I got the idea for. And so this card, gotta strategically placed all my piles over here. So we've got the Cheerful Daisies stamp set, and then the Cheerful Daisies dies that I used to create it. And I'm going to use the leaf and the stem. Oh, Janice is on. Hey guys. Hey Janice. I just want to make sure that somebody wasn't saying, hey, we don't see you. We only see your face or something. So I've got to get a little tiny, pick up the stem. We're going to pick up the leaf. And then we're just going to stamp away. I didn't bring anything over to put under me to stamp on. Well, we just won't go off the paper. So we're just going to put on a whole bunch of stems, and kind of every which way is my thought. Like so. Because we're going to build them up so that I'm just going to attach like the second one onto that one. We're going to go over this way. And then we're going to, I'm not going to do any more on that side. I think that should be good enough. We can always add some more as we get going along if we think we need some. Then we're going to come in with our leaf. Oh, I did my embossing over here, and oh, everything's kind of sticky and yuck. And then we're just going to add some leaves on wherever we can. Seem like, you know, fit one in. Oops. We want to go, you know, way up to the top because our flowers are going to fill in. So I guess probably can't hurt to have too many leaves, because you can, they'll be covered up with the flowers anyway. So I'm just putting some extra ones on. I have no idea where we need them. Just kind of winging that, you know. All right, so now put my green away. I'm going to take a scrap piece of Lemon Lolly. I'm sure I don't need that piece. Nope. And then I'm just going to show you guys how I created this just for show. So I took the half flower and then the little tiny flower that's in there. So there's you see that little ones. And then there's this great big one. I did not use the big one. I used the little one and the half, and I used the solid image. There's an outline image and a solid image. So I used the solid image, and I'm just going to show you what I did, how I did it. So they need to be washed. They don't want to stick. Clean it off a little bit. All right. So I got my Versamark. And I'm just going to stamp the half one first. And so I stamped up my whole page. And then I brought it into my white powder and covered them with the white powder. And tip of the day, I had 2 containers of white powder. And I haven't looked at the supply list, but I don't think our white is available yet, because I remember them saying it wasn't going to be till fall. So I dumped 2 of them together because they were both getting kind of low, and then realized that somewhere along the line I have gotten some other colors in here. I'm seeing like a little sparkle and some black. So be very careful. Do not mix your colors. And it wasn't anything I did intentionally. It was just must be over time of using the white. It got something on it, and bang that dish out. It got something on it and I just dumped it in. It did have like little flecks of black paper in it as well. And then now you'll see on my flowers that I got little black in it. So then I heated that. And I see a few black flecks in here. Mike said it was pollen. So if you got pollen on yours, you can make it black just to show the pollen. Okay. So then, oh, that's still sticky. I took the circle for the inside, the inner part that attracts all the bees and stuff, gets the pollen. I then stamped that down in the center, and then quickly, I might not have done it quick enough here. Let's see. I'm just going to do it again. If you're using a color, stamp pad of color, you just got to be quick. Not super duper race quick, but you just got to be quick to put your color down, and then you can put clear powder over the top. Give it a second, and then it will stick. As long as your ink is wet, it will stick. And then now you have embossing paste or powder in that color of ink because it's stuck to it. Let's show you. So when you put it on there, just take a look at it, and then you'll make sure that it's got like fuzz on it. I guess you'll be able to see that the powder's on it and stuck there. So we got that. And then from there, I cut them all out. Let me get my little machine out here. Just real quick. See how much stuff I can knock on the floor. I got my little machine, And I got, that's going to be too wide for it. So let's cut that off. You know, I could fussy cut this just as fast, but we're going to put that down and then I use the outline of the whole flower and then the half flower. So let me stick that in there before I lose it. So we're going to put that down on there. We could get out our tape if we wanted. We're not gonna today. Yeah, these being on the special, that's a good deal. These aren't usually offered on any of the, I guess you can get the small one in your starter kit because it falls in the price range, but you can't get the big one in your starter kit. So if you signed up right now, you probably could get it because with the discount, it might be cheap enough to fit into the starter kit price range. So if you want one really bad. Oh, and the glass mat, did you guys, if you're a demonstrator, did you see that you could pre-order your glass mat? And any customers that are watching, if you want the glass mat, it will be available in July when the online exclusives go live. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to take, I got all these flowers. And we're just going to strategically, randomly place them on the card with some, let me find my dimensionals that I can just peel off. I'm not going to cut them. Just going to put one. So I'm just going to sort of set them on there lightly in case I need to move them. See, can you see all my black speckles in there? If I hold it still real quick. Yeah, that's what happens when you mix the embossing powder without paying attention that there's black in there. All right, so we'll put this one over by here to make it look like it's on that stem, I guess. It's all just an optical illusion of where they're all stuck at. Then we'll come up over here. And then we got to come in with a half Z down here, bottom. Let's see, do I have enough? Probably needed another stem in there, but we're going to go with it right here. Maybe that whole menagerie there will make it look like it's got a stem that it's stuck on, but you get the idea. You just want to make sure that you got some stems there to look like it's stuck on. And I suppose you could be precise and really make sure you actually got a stem for it to go on. All right, we're going to stick that guy in there. And then this last one will come over here. Guess I'll stick it like that. Let me come up a little bit. And then I'm going to get my leaf out again with my green. And I'm just going to stick a leaf in there. Just to kind of fill that in. Probably I'm going to also stick a leaf down here. You know, I'm going to call that good. I don't need to get too many leaves on there. I'll muddy it all up. Okay. And then we will put, I got this little strip here that's like a quarter of an inch wide. Looks like it's a little bit over. And then we're going to take the You Made My Day. In the green. Oh, thanks, guys. Glad you like it. Oops, I got the day on there crooked. Can see it going up, but we're going to go with it again. Handmade, doesn't need perfection, but. And then I'm just going to trim these edges at an angle. And you could, oh, that one's bigger than the other side. Still want a little bit of, still want to have a little bit of space there. And then I'm going to just glue that on the front. I'm going to put a little bit of just glue on the ends. And I don't think I want to go that, yeah, I'm going to go that far down. So we got that. It's pretty much coming all together now. I'm going to flip it over and load her up with some dimensionals on the back. You guys know I don't like to use that many, but when you want it to pop up, you gotta. And look at there, I was getting 2 off at a time. It was my lucky day. Yeah, I'll probably do, those of you that get my newsletter, you think you saw, I think I put in 9 cards? I might have put in 6 cards from my event I was at on Sunday. We made 2 cards from each suite, and then we made that sampler that I showed you that is up on my shelf. So we were booking it. We were busy, busy, busy. So I quick took pictures of all the boards. They had boards set up with all the their samples on it, and of other cards. They must have been in swaps or something that they did. And oh, hi Denise. And I didn't get a chance to go through all of those, and I was kind of bummed. So I quick took some pictures, and I will see. I haven't even looked at what they were. It was just whirlwind. We were in and out. Oh, and I got a cute little shopping cart I was going to put up on my shelf too. We got a little cute little thank you gift from the girls and it was a little shopping cart. And I'm assuming because we have, the shopping cart bundle in the catalog. And I just put that on. All right, it's staying there. Okay, so I just got a normal inside at 4 by 5 1/4. Then I took my zinnia folder and I embossed. This one's a little wide. This one is just over 2 1/4. This is about 2 1/4. I'm going to cut it down to 2. Looks a little wider than I want it. So I'm going to cut it down to 2. And it covers the whole width of the card. So it's 4 1/4. So I'm going to put that down there. And then after all that, you guys have these little tiny cutters. If you don't push down perfectly on the guide, I have this one and I have little Fiskars ones. And if you don't push down exactly, it's all over the place. So let's see, which side do I want up? I'm going to put this side down. And so you're just going to glue the 3 edges and stick that down here at the bottom. And I got a little bit off still. And hanging over. So what happened was the embossing folder. Have you guys ever noticed? You think you cut it perfectly and then you emboss it and you go to use it and find out it doesn't fit right. Well, the embossing folder depends how much details on it. It will like flatten it or shrink it according to, like I said, how much detail is in the die or in the embossing folder. So now we've got that on the front, and then that will be our seed pocket. I have an extra little flower to put on the front or the inside. And then I took a scalloped oval and just a regular oval from our old whale tail punches that I had. Any die, the Cheerful Daisies had a die, and I was actually gonna try that this time. And I don't know how that would look in there. I guess let's try that real quick, because that was my thought. So we need to cut a piece here. That was my thought when I was coming over here tonight. I said, oh, let's try this. Just see, I don't know how it's gonna look with green, but it would probably look all right if we heat embossed it. Let's get our plates back out. And so much when I switch and change it up like this, it's taken off my, oh, I got so much extra time because I'm gonna have it all done ahead of time. And then look at now, I'm adding in some extra steps. So let's cut that. So this is from the Cheerful Daisies dies, like I said. And so let's just give it a whirl. See how it works. Where is it? Let's go here. Let's get our thank you. So I'm using the thank you from Wild Ferns. I'm just going to pull out that thank you. Does that look straight? No. No, it does so. All right, let's see. I'm going to even try and heat emboss this. Pull that, give that a little shine. Oh, but let me show you. This one, I was having an awful time because it's, no matter how I stamp that in the ink, I'm going to go over to the left as well a little bit so that I could put the flower on it. But no matter how I stamp that in the ink, well, now it's crooked, but we're going with it. See if we can pick up the powder. Looks like it's on there. No matter how lightly I tapped or whatever, it went all around the outside of that, like I just wiped off. So let's heat this up. It's not catching on fire. And then we'll put that in the center. I think that looks kind of cute. So I'm gonna put it on flat because I think we got enough height and enough other stuff going on in there. Let's see, we'll put our flower over here. Maybe I'm gonna put it crooked. I know, should probably be straight, but I'm going crooked to make up for the fact that I stamped it crooked, right? So I'm making up, and I probably should pop this flower up, but again, I got enough with the seeds and the popping up out there. And so now I'm going to put this down here. Get that a second to stick. It just, in my head, it's offsetting the fact that that's crooked. Probably not, but there you go. So there's our first card. We popped up all of our flowers, and then just to thank you for something somebody did. Or you don't even have to put the flowers in there. Put a gift card in there. Put some money in there. Whatever. Who wouldn't like a card with money in it? But now let's take our little daisies and show you the second idea. Let me put I only bought one pack of seeds, so they all got a share. So here's the second card that I found that I couldn't decide which one I wanted to make. So I just made this one up ahead and said, oh, I'll just show it to him. But then I said, no, I'll just make up a bunch of the stuff ahead again, like I did the first one, and we'll just make it. So this one uses the hand-drawn dots. Okay, the stamp set. I think it's retired, but anything you have that has some dots on it will work. I use the Be My Valentine for, of course, the little bee. And then the flowers are from the Cheerful Daisies, but it's this giant one where there's 3 of them and they're hooked together. So I just laid it on my paper, say like this, so that I didn't necessarily get the leaves. And then they're all hooked together. So they come out like this. So then I just cut them apart. And then you just trim the little nubbin off that's on there. Like this. Trim that off real quick. And then this guy should have, I think, 4 little things to trim off. Must be I cut the other ones pretty good that I didn't need to. Okay. And then we're just going to take our yellow daffodil Delight Stampin' Right. And I'm going to flip this guy over. No, I got dimensionals on him already. I'm going to get this piece of white paper right here. So I'm going to just color in around the center. On both of these little ones, or these ones with the little dots on them. And then I'm going to color just the nubbin on this guy. I don't know if that's far enough down, if I need to go all the way down. We're going to call that far enough. Whoops. Okay. Then we're just going to glue these together and offset them a little bit. So I just kind of went like this, where I was going to offset it. I spread it open and I just squirted a little bit of glue in there. Smushed it together, set it aside for a second to dry. And then this one, these are kind of kitty wampusy. They don't look very good when you just offset them. They look kind of strange. But we're going to go for it. Some of them, when you go offset, they still look like they're lined up on top of each other, but we're just gonna go in here again and put a little more glue. And I'm only doing it this way because it's easier for me to make sure that I'm not gonna end up with glue all over the place. And then this last guy, gonna do the same thing with. I'll hold on to it. Where's the, there we go. Do it like this, and you can even get fancy and you know, try and curl up the edges a little bit and do all that good stuff if you want to. So then I took a die, a rectangle die, I got the scalloped edge die, and I cut out from crumb cake. All right, and then I just got a roll of some old like gingham ribbon that I have from Stamp Company that I don't even think they're in business anymore. Fun Stamper's Journey. Well, I don't need all that much, but why am I struggling? Go around. And for me, I always kind of have to make my bow like upside down from the way that I want it to lay, if that makes sense. I don't know why that is. And you know, you pull it, you want them the same size, you pull it, they loosen, you tighten, and you gotta just, it's just a vicious cycle of tightening, loosening, tightening, loosening. All right, so I've got that. Let's put that about halfway up. And then if I was telling you the hand-drawn dots here, I used Versamark and then used my white powder and heated that up. So then we've got, oh, I've put all my dimensionals on there. Dang it all. Oh, we'll see what happens. I was being ahead of the game, right? Trying to get stuff done. And I have to stamp on there. What was I thinking? You weren't thinking, Jill. So I got You Make My Heart Buzz. Let's see, I should have a really juicy black over here because I don't use it as much as my other one. So let's see if this is going to work. This could be a huge issue, but let's get up, see if I could press down. All right, well, we'll go with it. Otherwise, we're just going to leave it. I'm going to just keep going. I'll fix it later. So then we're going to stick that on. I love my backs. Oh, Christy likes the bee. She likes the bee girl. Okay, so we're going to stick that on here like so. And then I'm just going to glue these on, and I glued them on flat. Or this guy's on flat. The next guy's popped up. So I'm just going to put some glue in the center of it. And I'm kind of going to come over here. Let's see, how did I angle it? We're going to angle it kind of this way. Then the half Z, We pop enough the halvesy here. Let's see. And we'll go over here and pop up the half one. And then I've got just some plain basic white paper. Let me clean off this flour and get it out of here before I lose it. I have well, actually, I think Debbie Green found it when she was over. It was stuck in the chair. So Christy, it's probably would be yours because it was in your chair that you always sit in. And it was a little circle like this, but it didn't have the seeds. Hold on, let me get it just so I could show you. So somebody. It almost looks like the foot to one of our trimmers, or let me put it on there. Can you see that? That's what it is. And in my head, I know what stamp set it is, but I don't know what stamp set it is. But I think Debbie found it. Debbie, you can confirm that my brain is correct here. I think Debbie found this in her chair. And I have it stuck. I stuck it in my little toolbox so that I know where it's at if somebody needs it. So, Christy, if you find a set that's missing that little round thing, let me know. Otherwise, it could be mine and it fell out of, something when we were stamping, but I don't know if it's from one of our monthly things and you may have lost it. So just a heads up if you see that you're missing a little round guy. All right, so now I got the bee's body, not the bee's knees, but the bee's body. But it will be the bee's knees when this is done. So let's see, I got the punch. So let's go. We want to be able to slide this in there. So I'm going to put the body right in here. Right there. Got a goober on the block. See if I can fill it in. Yep. Okay. Then we're going to come in with the black portion of his little body. I think we're done with the yellow Daffodil Delight. Now we're going to come in with the black. I'm going to line this little stinger up to the yellow. I might be off. I think I'm off the side just a little bit, but we lined him up like that. And then we're going to give him a little smiley face or a little winky face. Oh, I forgot the antennas on mine. They got antenna as well. I forgot them. We'll give him a little smiley face. And I guess we can give him some antennas. I forgot all about them. Although my little bee doesn't look bad without the antennas, but oops, they have to punch out. We're going to punch the antennas out. Then we got to punch out the wings. So let me let's punch out the bee first, just so I can see where I got everything to go. And then this is the fun with these kind of punches, is you gotta make sure you get everything in the right way. So the antennas line up over this way. I don't know. Maybe I won't put those on there. And then we've got the wings, which need to go in this way. So let's get the wings. We're just doing the outline of the wings. And then I brought over some Pool Party. Or no, I didn't. I brought Balmy Blue, Kathy's favorite. So there's this little antenna, wings, and then the solid heart that's in there. We'll do Balmy Blue. I'm going to stamp off once, and then I'm just going to fill in his wings with a little bit of, I guess, transparency look. So you can, gives the illusion that they're there. Okay, so then we're going to stamp out or punch out his little wings. And then we're going to assemble him real quick. Put some glue under on his wings and glue them on. And I'll put the antennas on this little guy and see if I like them. I don't know if I like those on there. For some reason, they don't look right. And then we're going to glue his body down and pop his wings up. So put a dimensional on his wings. And some glue on his body. Give that a second to dry. We're going to put some glue on the, yeah, Christy, I don't know what set that is. I haven't had a chance to even begin to look, but my brain knows what it is. It just isn't recalling it. Maybe, eventually it might. So now we're just going to glue that last flower down there. And then we can go to the inside. And on this card, I just put the white inside, but you could do the same thing and put a black strip across it, like 2 inches by 4 1/4, emboss it, put a little thank you on there, and then add your seeds, your gift card, your cash, your heck, you could go to Ulta and get a foot scrub or a hand mask, face mask, something, and just stick it in there for a something. But I didn't want to have another card like that, so I just put the blank white on the inside. So that's that card too, you guys. So how did I do? Oh, look at there, barely an hour, just under. So those are the 2 cards that we made today. And like I said, they hold a packet of seeds or something inside, and they are good to go for they would be a great kids project. Not obviously this is way too much, but this would be for like a Mother's Day gift. Let's see, I want to take this off. Hold on. Come back here. Okay. So I'm back. So I'm just thinking that I'm helping my friend at Vacation Bible School on the 25th, 26th, 27th. So 25th is my Christmas card night. 26th will be Wednesday. So those 2 nights, I'm going to probably be late. I'm going to shoot for 8. I can't remember what time she said we were going to be done. So it'll be a real quick thing. I'm going to have to be Johnny on the spot or Jilly on the spot and be home and be ready to go before I go to Vacation Bible School. But anyway, you could do a craft like this at an event like that. Well, they usually have a theme, don't they? So maybe not something like that, but summer programs, anything like that. I'm thinking more springtime because of the seeds. You could do, like I said, a Mother's Day gift or things like that. But a cocoa packet in the fall, Christmas time, again, it would just be a cute thing for kids to make. But anyway, our Step It Up card would obviously not be too much. It would be too much for kids, but I thank you for watching. I don't know why it feels like I've been gone away from here. Was I here? I know I was here last week. I did the fish card, and you guys, my son sold the fish card as soon as he took it to work and then requested they wanted 4 more. So guess what I did all day yesterday was make those bay window fishing cards that I did on my video last week. So I'm excited that they liked it, but whew, I'm glad he only said 4 because that took me a long time. But that's it. If you guys have any questions about the special 10% extra 10% off kind of stuff, let me know. I'm here. I'm ready, willing, and able to answer questions. Thank you for watching. I will see you again. And some of you I'll see in person soon. So until then, take care. Love you guys. Thanks for watching, commenting, sharing, everything. You guys are just great. Talk to you later. Bye.